Welcome back to Homeworld Remastered, everybody. Last we left off, we hyperspaced into a very beautiful, albeit dangerous, nebula. It seems as though we're trespassing. Yep, I didn't mean to, we didn't want to, but we ended up in this godless nebula here. Well, godless for us, at least, because for these guys, it seems like the nebula itself is a holy place. And we're trespassing, and we didn't want to trespass, we didn't mean it, but they took it to heart, and they now want to kill us. So we now have to get our fleet...
Hyperspace module charging. Ready in 8 minutes.
We now have to get our fleet in a position to resist for 8 full minutes to their onslaught, until our hyperdrives are ready to go. Unfortunately, our fighters aren't up to par concerning these swarmers of theirs, the Kadeshi swarmers. They're really dangerous fighters, they're a whole lot in number, and their mothership continuously spawns more and more, so they're constantly producing more stuff to kill us with.
Enemy forces are concentrating on our resource collectors. Allocate combat vessels to protect them.
Yeah, unfortunately my combat vessels can't really protect themselves right now, let alone the resource collectors, so I just tell them to dock there and try to go for a different build here, because fighter-wise we can't compete, period. Hopefully we'll get some news from our scientists and engineers aboard the mothership here pretty soon, so let's hope for the best here, and in the meantime try to stall these guys as best we can. They're trying to rotate our corvettes and fighters just a bit, getting the ones that are too...
The enemy is relying heavily on fighter-class ships. Our research division reports it can design a new type of corvette specially suited to combat multiple fighters. Begin research as soon as possible.
Alright, there's the research we were waiting for. Trying to get the more damaged ones, the more damaged fighters to dock. So we're gonna need a support frigate close to the fighters for that to work. Now, unfortunately, we can only hope that we research this in time, this new technology. We have no capital ships able to defend themselves against fighters. Would be cool to have one that was exclusively fire-oriented. The drone frigate seems to pull its own, but still it's not enough. And there's just too many of them, as you can see. They just keep coming wave after wave, and 8 full minutes of this is a real challenge. I remember when I first played this mission 15 years ago, that this was one of the hardest missions I had to deal with. Here you can see a drone frigate, and I'm going to deploy the drones here, because I thought it did so automatically. You can see them just poofing out of its upper portion there, just poof, 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 and they orbit around the frigate. It's kind of cute. Still, cute isn't exactly what I'm going for as a defensive strategy here, so kind of a waste of resources there. Still not sure, don't remember, and frankly don't much care about what the drone frigate is good for. I'm sure it's good for something. Essentially, that's not what I'm going for. I want the multi-gun corvettes. These are a fighter's nightmare. They have, like the name suggests, a lot of guns, hence multi-gun. And they just you send 4 or 5 of them into a wing of fighters, and they just completely tear them apart. It's a very beautiful sight, unless you're the side controlling the fighters, in which case, hey, you're not gonna find it that entertaining. But here we are, just essentially stalling for hyperdrive and for that research. There's a mothership. By now I figured out that it's probably best to just attack the core of the problem and try to take down the mothership as soon as possible before it spawns any new fighters. Here we go, multi-gun Corvettes. Let's make a bunch of those and try to turn the tides of this battle around here. We're still focusing on the fighters, and this is really not a healthy strategy here. We really need to take out that mothership, especially because it's not that heavily armored. Or armed for that matter. I do believe it has an ion beam weapon. However, it's not really that much of an issue. As soon as we cleared out that little wave of fighters there, start targeting that mothership, and you can see its health go down really fast. Having that what's left of our fighter wings there, fighters and corvettes, to just stall and decoy those swarmers there is really important, because otherwise, even though their weapons are not very dangerous, when in high numbers they can take down a capital ship. And these motherships, these Kadeshi motherships, do tend to make the dickest move of all, which is to hyperspace out when their fighters are not docked and are engaged in a losing battle. That, for me, is just about the dickest move you can do. At least tell the guy, hey, we're getting our asses kicked, just come on over, dock, and we'll take you with us. But no. Hey guys, you stay there and get killed while we go away and run. That can't do a whole lot of good to that holy place you have there. That holy place is not gonna be happy if you keep having that sort of attitude. I'm just saying. So let's take a look at what we've produced already, and we already have our first multi-gun Corvettes. Let's try to get these into the fray and hopefully start turning the tides here. Unfortunately, everything here goes very, very slowly. Well, everything goes very slowly. That means ships move slowly and construction goes slowly. Maybe it eventually balances itself out. I like it. I like it because my brain can't really function in that way. Like, can't really function like a pro StarCraft 2 gamer functions. I mean, those guys are doing 100 things per minute, and I can do like 3, and then I'm struggling with that as it is. Here we can see a second mothership, which is time to attack, and unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna ignore that engage hyperdrive because I want to collect those resources. I spent a ton of resources trying to fight off these guys. Now I want them back, so I'm gonna go for the mothership and try to take these guys out, and then, just then, harvest everything and then hyperspace. And here we have a couple of fuel pods. These guys are worth like 600 resources each. I shouldn't have destroyed them, but I just wanted these guys gone. I wanted them gone. I want to harvest resources, and I just can't be bothered with anything else. Plus, I did notice that my capital ships aren't exactly attacking that Kadeshi mothership back there, and the thing is actually spawning more swarmers. And the thing is, when for some reason, now I couldn't attack with my capital ships because I had the carrier selected too. So when I deselected the carrier, the capital ships would attack the mothership, no problem. Here they are, dickest move in Kadeshi history. I do have problems with it. Oh, this guy is getting beat up, so let's tell him to dock. And hopefully he'll survive. I don't know if he does. He or she, that seems like a multi-crew ship. So even though the voice is male, the pilot herself might be female. I don't know. As far as I know, Karen Sajet is the only female in the fleet. and she's a spaceship, so that might pose some problems if we didn't save a lot of people from the cryo trace, and the only woman in our species is a spaceship. That might pose some breeding issues. That's all I'm saying. Fortunately, it didn't have to come to that. We didn't have to figure out the logistics of that. So now all we have to do is finish off this last wave and try to get ourselves in a position where we can just take a breather, rebuild the fleet, and go for those resources. Just, if I can maintain a few of them, I'll be good. Here we are, cleanup operation, just a couple of fuel pods just hanging around. These guys don't do anything if they lose their mothership or their fighters, so just move in with a couple of salvage frigates, and afterwards, all we have to do is get all the resources and try to get out of here.
Hyperdrive jump failed.
Yeah, this is a sequence. The game was programmed for us to engage hyperdrive when it first told us to, and then it would give us these lines that the jump failed, so we'd have to destroy the other Kadeshi motherships. So there you go. All right, what do you say we get on out of here?
The enemy mothership appeared to be equipped with a powerful field generator. This field deformed our quantum wavefront and prevented us from making a hyperspace jump. We also observed that the enemy's hyperspace module has an identical power signature to our own. This raises interesting questions considering our own technology was reverse engineered from the wreck of the car Toba. Our hyperspace systems are now functioning properly, and this jump will carry us clear of the nebula.
Okay, it seems like we have something in common with these people. And we appear to be still inside that nebula. Yep, we're in the Cathedral of Kadesh. We are not outside the nebula.
We've been pulled out of hyperspace. We're still inside the nebula.
It's a trap. Sensors detect hyperspace inhibitors in a triangular formation. Even one can keep us from entering hyperspace. All of them must be destroyed. The nebula is still scrambling our sensors, but it looks like we have incoming enemy units.
Group 2.
Okay, let's deal with these guys.
Again,
Oh, hold on.
a chance to join us and live here in peace.
We cannot stay. We're on a journey. But let there be peace between us, for we have something in common. The hyperdrive technology left to us by our ancestors is identical to yours. The homeworld we seek may be yours as well.
You will fail. The evil that drove us here will find and destroy you. From you they will know of us and come here. This cannot come to pass.
Okay, and there we have it.
Closing on multiple attack vectors. Engage and destroy hostiles.
Strike group prepare for assault. All right.
There we have it. These people are our kin, our brethren. This is a civil war now, pretty much. They ended up in this nebula, and we ended up on Karak. Why? I don't know. I wish I could understand this better. My guess is that our people were dispersed throughout the galaxy. Some went to Karak, some may have come here. Whether be it forced or voluntarily, they didn't all go to one place. This seems more than obvious from what we heard from that fighter ship there. They told us that an evil drove them out, which is exactly the same that happened to us. They have the same hyperdrive technology as we do. However, they seem to have gone a bit religious extremist on us, so now we have to defend ourselves, and since they're attacking us so viciously, we're going for their mothership. There is no way we can go around this. We can't hold them off for as long as we need, and even if we could, I mean, they have the hyperspace inhibitors, we have to destroy them. And there goes one mothership. I don't know how many people those things carry, but it sure as hell looks like a lot. And if it wasn't enough that the Taidan already committed or tried to commit genocide and wipe out our people, now we're killing each other. This is sad to a whole new degree for me in video games. This really marked me when I first played it. It was really a sad thing to watch. I mean, the struggle of these people is already so immense, and watching them have to fight each other, of all things, of all people, of all races, is just, well, yeah, there's just no other word that I can think of except sad. By the way, if you notice any sound issues, I apologize as of now, because my mic cable is kind of broken, so every time I touch it, it goes and it's really, I can't afford another one, okay, so bear with me here. But here we go. I'm trying to get some cool shots of the battle. Now I'm a little bit more collected, and my ear is itchy. A little bit more collected. I know what I'm doing. I have the ships, and here I'm going for their multi-beam frigates. These are interesting contraptions. I don't think we can see any of them firing off a shot, but they have 4 ion beams, and they rotate when they shoot. So there are 4 ion beams in line, which rotates. It's really cool. When we capture a few and we're in battle, I'll make sure I show you how it works. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we lost a couple of frigates in either this fight or the last against the Kadeshi. Even though our fleet right now is superior, they still have it in them to cause some pretty serious damage to our fleet. Which is why I'm getting a support, 1 or 2 support frigates to constantly keep an eye on those destroyers at least. The destroyers are really valuable. Gun for gun, I mean, gun for gun, they're really valuable. Although I would trade them for, I would trade 1 destroyer for like 5 iron frigates, just because once the iron frigates start mounting up, they're really a force to be reckoned with, especially against capital ships and super capital ships. It's really smart to just have a wall of those things surrounded by fighters. That works really, really well. But in the meantime, I'm having that issue that I had the previous time with Group 2 there, the capital ship group, not attacking the mothership, the Kadeshi mothership, because the carrier is inserted in the group. So for some reason, neither of them are attacking if I'm telling the carrier in the same group to attack as well. It takes me a while to figure this out, but eventually I do, and the mothership will eventually go down. However, until then, you can see that all these swarmers, my group 3, the corvettes, are really taking a beating, and the swarmers are taking their toll. I mean, the corvettes are very good against fighters, but still, I am trying to rotate them and trying to get them to dock when they're low on health. But it's just, there's a lot of micromanagement involved here. I can pause the game. The game is pausable, at least that. I can pause the game and issue orders and commands. So that kind of balances out the micromanagement issues that this game has. I like micromanagement, but micromanagement under pressure, you can see here those ion beam frigates, those multi-beam frigates. They're really cool. I think in total we managed to get our hands on 6. 6 ion beam frigates is a force to be reckoned with. I'm not sure if there were that many more that we could capture. I think I counted like 4. Maybe we could capture like 10, but 6 is all well and good. As long as I leave here with a stronger fleet than the fleet I arrived with, and with more resources, then we're in the clear. Because towards the last couple of missions, if I remember correctly, the resources are going to be spent. Just pure and simple.
This reading has been consistent despite sensor interference. It has a friendly signature, but it's not one of ours.
Okay, so they retreat to a structure with a friendly signal, which is probably the Cathedral of Kadesh. If it's a structure or some sort of ship, it might be the ship that brought them here, the ship that brought us to Karak. We found it was the Kartoba. So, yeah, it would make sense that their cathedral is their salvation, the ship that saved them from the Titan Empire. So now it's just a question of dealing with these last few buggers here. I shouldn't say buggers, there are people, they're just, I don't know, let's say misguided. But we have to deal with them before we can push on towards that structure. So let's just follow this multi-gun Corvette around and watch all the booms. There's really... Here we go. We're ready to go here. And exactly where I have to go, I can't really tell. I think it's close to the center of the map, so it's just a matter of sending everybody in there. And there you go. I think we recognize this all well. It is the Kartoba.
Metallurgy and structural composition are an identical match to the Kartoba wreckage on Karak.
Okay, I guess this proves it. This proves it. We are the same people. So now I'm guessing that we're gonna find a fleet near that thing. And there it is. A very lonely mothership. The capital ships are still having trouble attacking this, but eventually they come to terms with it. And just listen to these sound effects. Ah man, that is just delicious. This is absolutely delicious. The sound in this game, along with the graphics, it is just... This is undoubtedly the best space RTS experience I've ever had. I've said this before, I will say it again, and I very much doubt that any game at all...
Hyperspace module back online.
Alright. At all will ever surpass this one, at least for the impact it had on my life. But that's also something, it has something to do with some personal issues there. But there you go. We ended up defending ourselves from the Kadeshi, our brethren, our bloodkin, or bloody kin. And now it's only a matter of gathering up all the resources. I'm gonna prepare a couple more resource collectors to make this thing run more smoothly and jump on to the next sector. So everybody, thank you very much for watching. Please remember, leave a like, leave a dislike or a comment, tell me what you think, and until next time, as always, I have been the Neural, and I hope you have an awesome day.